James Schramko here, and for many business owners, every month resets to zero. This is what it was like when I was selling cars for a while there. You sign a few new clients, finish a few projects, and then you're straight back onto the hamster wheel. You're probably not lazy, like you are trying hard, and you're not broken. It's probably not all about you. You've perhaps built a business that is stuck in the wrong business model. And that's what I want to share with you today, some ideas in episode 1121 that have come from some recent discussions I've had with my own mentees. So you need to change the business at some time, because if you're going to have that energy to survive and if you want to run in an ongoing basis for a long time, well, the business model needs to do the heavy lifting and not you. So if income could come whether you're on a call or asleep or at the beach, then that is a better business. But in my case, I particularly love the recurring business model. It is a dream for me and I live it, and it's what I help clients create. So I want to delve into a few ideas around that. So in this particular episode, I'll be showing you some insights into what we see with businesses that do work harder than the individual. A business that delivers recurring revenue without the grind. And I'll walk through some frameworks that my clients are using to free themselves up. We've built engines. I call them freedom engines, but using leveraged offers, better messaging, and smart systems, a lot is possible with what you already have. So the real problem is that most businesses don't fail from lack of effort. I know people work hard. You go to any shop where the retailer is working really hard, but they may not be that profitable. But they're failing because they're doing the wrong effort. And it's usually because they're built on single sale offers, projects, hourly work, done for you with no margin. I mean, those things will choke a business. And that model will take your time, your energy, and eventually your joy. And it's not scalable easily anyway. So it's not sustainable. It's not necessary. If you're an agency owner, for example, like I've got a client who's an agency owner and he was running an agency. He was earning pretty well, but he was kind of exhausted. And every month he's chasing new leads, like traffic, conversions, trying to deliver everything, manage the team, restarting again. And every time he got into fulfillment, he'd leave the sales getting aside and then he'd be struggling again. And he just couldn't see a way out. So we shifted the whole business model. I'll also be sharing with you another client who was selling high ticket strategy sessions that just weren't stacking up. Even at $3,000, she had to keep selling them every single month and not really building anything, just going from sale to sale. And the good news is you really don't need to overhaul everything. Just need to have a look at the right framework with some of the things you're doing. So I've developed this framework, which I call Paris. And I observed some very good people using frameworks like this. I went and reverse engineered them for myself, and it ended up being an acronym, Paris. So I want to share this. It's a story-based framework that you can use to shift your message from confusing to compelling. I'll show you the whole framework right here. It kind of works like magic because it mirrors how people actually make decisions. And I'm going to walk you through each step with examples for an agency and an expert. First P is problem, which is no surprise for anyone in sales. Start by naming the pain clearly, not vaguely, not cleverly, just truthfully. So for an agency, it would be every month you're chasing new projects just to stay even. You deliver great work, but you're still back at zero on the first of every month. The expert example would be you're booked with coaching calls, but you're not building anything that lasts. Your income stops the moment you stop. So that's a direct exchange for energy. A stands for anecdote. It shows you understand. Tell a real story. For the agency, it might be one of my clients, Darren, was running a website agency, amazing delivery, but he was stuck at 25K months with no time off and constantly stressed about cash flow. The expert scenario might be Nancy came to me after selling high-ticket strategy for years. She loved helping people, but hated always being in hustle mode. So this is a story that the target prospect can really relate to. And R is revelation. What is the turning point? what truth changed the game? I guess this leans a bit on the Peter Thiel thing too. For an agency, it might be the big shift was recurring revenue. Darren stopped offering projects and started offering growth subscriptions tied to outcomes. For the expert, it might be Nancy bundled her expertise into a membership, weekly calls, templates, Voxer access, and a very simple delivery, predictable income. Now, that's the result people want, so they're very interested in listening to what comes next, which is I for insight. What is the transferable wisdom? What can others apply? For the agency, it might be, if you're an agency, don't sell time, sell results on a subscription. Package it, price it, and pitch it as a performance system, not a task list. For an expert, it might be, if you're a coach, stop selling hours. Build a container people stay in. Support, accountability, and community work far better than one-off advice. And the final S is for the step. What's the next move? You might call this a call to action. Give them something to do. For the agency, look at your last 5 clients and what did they keep coming back for? That is your recurring offer. Turn it into a 6 or 12-month program. For an expert, it might be, write down the 3 things every client needs from you every month. Turn that into a $300 per month membership with a wait list. That's Paris. It's a Paris framework, and I use it across social media, a website, sales pages. I teach it to clients. I've made a GPT for my Connect members and Mentor members to use so they can easily punch it out, but I'm sure you could use one from this podcast or the transcript. You can use YouTube videos, and it works, and it makes your messages land every time. I know it works well because I sort of borrowed that formula from observing great copywriters using this exact methodology. So let's go a bit deeper. Once your messaging is clearer, using the Paris framework, you need systems to actually deliver recurring value. So it's one thing to sell, but you have to deliver. There are 3 critical systems to install. One would be onboarding, which is an automated welcome sequence, or a manual element. If it's low volume and high touch, then you can do manual stuff, but still semi-automated. I get a task, for example, when a new member comes on board to remind me to make a personalized video. The client dashboard or resource hub, a way that clients can actually manage their progress and see that things are happening for them. In my Connect group, I have a progress journal. It's obvious they're growing. In my mentor group, I have a sounding board, which is just me and them, and we review that on a regular basis. And the other thing is a quick win task or orientation. That's one thing that someone can do as soon as they arrive that gets them in motion. You need to encourage consumption when people buy something. It's fine if they buy it and don't do anything with it. I mean, that's still on them probably. But if they can use it, they're more likely to stay. And if your business is recurring, you want them to consume. You want them to grow. You want them to improve and get results. Then I like weekly calls or check-ins with my mentor group and monthly assets report, training or review, something like that if you're an agency where you're showing your client what's happening. And then you'll get automated updates or reports. We semi-automate this. We have a dashboard which my team draw from that we then send to member news for our Connect members, and it shows what's happening in our community each week. But of course, with my mentors, I'm actually meeting them each week so I can tell them myself. The second thing is you want retention triggers. You need to actually make sure people are consuming, make sure people are getting results. For things like that, you want to actually contact people if they disengage. Have a slipping away sequence. Keep an eye on your members. Bring them back in. Send them a newsletter. Ping them. Send them an app push through your app. If you do it, I use Kleq, KLEQ.com for my membership, and I'm able to push notify. I think push notifications are important because email deliverability has been a concern for some people. And then you need progress tracking. I do a 12-weekly review for my mentor clients. I do a progress journal for my Connect members. Things like member recognition are good. You can call people out in the news when they do something good. That's a positive reinforcement. You can show examples of people who are shining the torch bright. You can have scheduled check-ins depending on the pricing point that you have. For me, I'm checking in with my mentor members all the time. For my Connect members, we do a monthly AMA. So I've got clients who do all sorts of things. Some people use a Slack group. Other people use a Loom video to do performance reviews. These are good leverage tools. They're async, which means they're not live. I'm really against, if possible, doing live calls with a scheduler and booking. So I've deleted my scheduler. I don't do any one-to-one. I saw a post the other day where Mark Zuckerberg doesn't even do one-to-one, which is interesting, and it shows it's possible. I do think a lot of people are spending a vast amount of their time in meetings. Another one of my clients built a newsletter model that just fed into quarterly strategy calls, and it just keeps clients on over and over again because there's something coming, always something coming. And Dean Jackson taught me that. The most important thing with a subscription is that there's something to look forward to. You don't need complexity. It can be super simple. It could just be having emails. You do not need even consistency. You just need to lean in to where the energy needs to be at the right time. And your membership or retainer or performance deals will go through seasons. They're not going to be extraordinarily linear. Even within my partner portfolio, some of them perform and others have an off month, and then some perform. And that actually all balances out to be very, very consistent by the time it hits my P&L. But that's spread over hundreds of clients in different price tiers and membership styles. So your offer has to deliver value. That's critical. And the system ensures they get experience. Now, there is a mental upgrade that has to happen. I think that's where I've been helping people a lot, is none of this really works without a shift in how you see yourself. And you are not the product. You're not your time. You're not the architect. You are not busy, hustle, grind. None of those things are very effective. The product is really the result that someone wants. That's, if you can deliver that, however you deliver that, that's the product. That doesn't have to be you or your time. And this is why you get I get these questions all the time, like, well, how many hours would I have to spend with a client? Don't measure it in time units. It's like, well, what result does your client want and how can you deliver it for them? There are so many ways to achieve that. Freedom isn't earned, it's built. So you know people who work really, really hard and make no money. Like think of a school teacher or a forklift driver working very hard, but not necessarily the highest earner. So most of the successful founders I've worked with have had to let go of something. They've held on to an idea or something that I've had to shatter for them, break the paradigm, and they move forward. And I think the hardest part of scaling is not tech. Everyone thinks it's tech. It's trust. Trust that your system can work without you hovering over it. In order to get, sometimes you've got to let go. So if you find you're stuck in a service or you're an expert and things are, sell by the hour, or your agency is like sell by the thing, and you're constantly looking at how to get more traffic or burning ads on campaigns, not getting the type of clients you want, if it's a real struggle, then I would suggest try changing your business packaging. It's the packaging that makes a difference. Just go and look for that offer first. What is it that you do over and over again for these one-time people? And build your offer around that, and then build a system to deliver that, and then just focus on getting that working, and that should compete for your attention and start to overtake what you were doing. And your whole business will shift. So your messaging can be clearer using the Paris framework. Your model could be recurring. Now, the 3 recurring models that I'm a specialist at are the membership retainer model. So that's people paying a small fee to be a member of your community. Then there's the retainer model, which is typically great for agencies. That's where people they commit to a monthly fee to get a result, not a list of tasks. And then third one is performance royalties, where you get paid a percentage of revenue to bring your expertise or contacts or whatever it is you bring to the table. If you want help with any of those things, that's what I fix. The Connect level is available from $10 for 10 days. And then it's $59 after that. And my mentor level starts at $1,800 per month. And there's no long-term contract. If you're not sure which one's right for you, just send me an email and ask. And we can start installing your systems so that you can scale, but simpler. In all likelihood, I'm going to ask you to do less things than what you're doing now, but I'm going to point you in the right direction. So if you'd like that, if you're interested in some help, get in touch with me. I appreciate you listening. This is just a short solo episode, but if there's anything you can take from this, it's question your business pricing and packaging and have a look at the Paris framework for moving your business messaging forward across the different modalities. I'm James Schramko. This is episode 1121. I'll be back with another episode shortly.
This is James Schramko.